Here we have a case of a woman basically making the argument of, I made poor choices. Everyone else needs to step up and help me now. My poor choices are your responsibility. And they wonder why they get treated like children. I'm a single mother. Wants to give me a hand with the groceries? No, no, I don't. This would be, again, situational. We're going to get into the type of person she is, but like if this was a widow, okay, I have some sympathy for widows. But this woman is a level above your typical single mother, though. Even worse than the, oh, I'm not happy anymore, so I'm leaving you type. As I haul multiple shopping bags from my boot while my toddler skitters between parked cars, my neighbor nods hello from his back porch while ashing his cigarette. He's probably thinking, glad that's not me. Each week, and this is the important part, despite knowing that I am a solo mother by choice, with a donor conceived son and no partner at home. So she made the choice herself to have a kid with no man in the equation. She didn't even have an ex that she got rid of. She was strong and independent and didn't need no man. My neighbor watches me teeter inside a leaning tower of motherhood with hefty bags and a yelling child attached to my shins. I smile brightly and say hello, but my mind is a static of expletives. Why doesn't he offer to effing help? Okay. The problem here, if you really need the help, is your pride. It's not his responsibility to offer to help you with your poor choices. Now, if you asked for help, chances are he'd probably do it just to be nice. It's not his problem that you have too much pride to ask for help when you clearly need it. How is any of this his responsibility or his problem? It's not entirely my neighbor's fault. It's not at all your neighbor's fault. This is all on you. I could ask him to help, but I don't. Well, there you go. That's the end of the article, right? No, it keeps going. What's stopping me? Pride. I consciously chose this solo path, and you don't want to admit you chose poorly, of course, and I embraced all the work and self-reliance it would entail. Clearly not if you're asking for help. That said, I know plenty of other mothers with partners and multiple jobs who often need an extra set of hands. They can ask too. If this were a town square 100 years ago, my neighbor would no doubt get off his arse and help me carry my bags or watch my child while I do the return trip to get the second load. But parenting and all its attendant domestic minutiae has become increasingly atomized. Yeah, it did. And you know what else would have happened? If this were a town square 100 years ago, your neighbor would have beat your kid's ass for being too loud and just disrupting his routine. Yeah, this is a typical thing. Like, this is what I can't stand about most parents nowadays. Like, they just want their kid to be everyone else's responsibility, but as soon as someone else tries to discipline their kid, oh, you ain't laying a finger on my kid. Fair enough. Then I'm not going to help you with them. I'm not going to pay for them. They're not my problem. They're not my responsibility. Yeah, if it was 100 years ago, she'd have a husband. Yeah. Look, if it was 100 years ago, she wouldn't have been able to have a kid without a man in the equation in the first place. If it was 100 years ago, even if she did hook up with a man and have a kid, she wouldn't be able to divorce him as easily. She'd be stuck with him if she wants to keep eating. Now, I don't ask my neighbor to help because my generation of parents has swallowed the belief that parenting should be shouldered alone. Yes, you made the choice to have that kid. It's your fault. It's your responsibility. I am getting sick and tired of these dogshit parents trying to make their kids my responsibility. No, I don't have kids for a reason, because I don't want to deal with that responsibility. I'm not going to have you force it on me. So many people have moved away from their hometowns or to other cities or countries and find themselves without the support of family or an easy reliance on old friends. Whose fault is that? Did someone force them to move away to other cities and countries? No, they made the choice. They decided, I don't need the support of my family and old friends. I could do this alone. How is any of this anyone else's fault? So parenting, instead of being shared, has become an isolating, exhausting, and expensive. We believe that by asking a friend to babysit or a neighbor to carry our groceries, we become a burden. You kind of do. We'd rather pay a stranger to enter the intimate, ecstatic, and porridge-smeared corners of our life than to feel indebted to a friend. It's actually a good thing that you have at least that much self-awareness. So credit where it's due. She at least realizes that if she really wants help, dealing with the consequences of her poor decisions, the best way to do it is to pay a professional that as opposed to being a burden to everyone around her. I'm part of a movement that is trying to reclaim a village model of parenting. Translation, I'm trying to get everyone in my vicinity to take responsibility for my kid. If this was true, if you were trying to reclaim a village model of parenting, you would have, before you even had your kid, or maybe even right now, you'd be looking into other people who want that type of model, and you'd be arranging to all move in together in the same like apartment building or something. That's what you'd be doing. But you're not, are you? No, you just want someone else to pick up the burden for you. That's all this is. As American author and solo mom Mickey Morissette writes, the goal of a single parent is not to raise our children alone. The goal is to consciously create the village in which we and our children will thrive. Then consciously seek out that hippie commune you so desire. What they're doing is like they're moving in next to people who don't care about them and then pretty much demanding, hey, I need you to take care of my kid. No, thank you. Each week, despite my discomfort, I push against the belief that I must be self-sufficient. You're a strong, independent whammons who don't need no man. I get by with a lot of help from my parents. Of course, of course. So she's independent, but I bet mommy and daddy pay her rent. My brother, yeah, if you need some heavy lifting done, of course. And the angels I pay, like childcare indoctrinators and babysitters. More occasionally, I ask friends. Another mother is watching my son, so I can write these words. Now, you see, this right here is that community that you're talking about. You need to have friends who also have kids, and this is common. I remember from back when I was a kid. Like, damn, man, like my parents' whole group of friends, like most of them had kids. It was pretty common for us to be passed around between them. Like, oh, hey, I watched your kid last weekend. Could you watch my kid this weekend so we could go out and do something? If you're talking about putting your kid up with a single person, that's or a childless couple, that's being a fucking burden. But if you have friends who are also parents, and even better if the kids are also friends, it's basically, hey, go hang out at Jamal's house real quick so we could go out and have our hot date for 3 hours. Like that's the correct way to do it. It goes without saying that the task of parenting falls mostly squarely upon the aching backs of mothers. Oh, yeah. Poor mothers have the hardest job in the world, getting the black lung and all that. Beyond that, to other whammons who work for paltry wages to care for our chillins and to wipe our kitchen benches. You could offer to pay them more. It gets better, though. We're not even at the best parts of this article yet. As the New Yorker columnist Gia Tolentino writes, many of the modern rituals of motherhood, of the all-female baby shower, did you just assume their gender? The all mommy WhatsApp group teach that caregiving is a project for whammons to figure out with other whammons. But what if we all saw ourselves as parents, no matter our gender or parental status? Oh, that's right. Hey, what if everyone who avoided having kids because they didn't want to put up with this was forced to do it anyway? Oh, yeah. What if I could pin my responsibilities onto somebody else? As a single parent, by choice, mind you, I am not the only one who could benefit from more support. Married straights, queer couples, single dads, foster parents, grandparents, all of us gain from raising our children collectively. Do we now? Okay, so when you retire, you potentially have your kids to take care of you. If I helped raise that kid, is that kid going to take care of me in my old age too? Like, well, what am I going to gain from it? Like, you got to really sell me on this. So at this point, you might be thinking, I'm here, I'm willing to help. No. Let me tell you how. Offer to carry the shopping inside. Put a child into a car seat. Lift a pram up the stairs. Ask a mother if she needs to go to the bathroom alone without a child's barnacle before you part ways. Pick up some groceries or coffee on your way over. We'll pay you back, we promise. Now, Better Bachelor correctly called this out because I was thinking the same thing when I was reading this. All right. Guys, all of you listening to this right now, try walking up to a woman with a kid in like the line for the women's room and just say, hey, I could take care of that kid for you while you go to the bathroom. I promise I'm not a predator. Yeah, just no. Walk up to some random woman that's putting groceries into her house. Hey, let me carry those in for you. You look like you're struggling. Don't worry, I'm not casing your house out or anything. Yeah. Hey, let me have that kid for a second. I'll put the kid in the car seat for you. You can trust me. Yeah, sure. What kind of world does this woman live in? It's not going to end well for any guy that does this. If you're sitting at home scrolling away your evening, then relocate your screen time to my place so that I can step into the night air as my child sleeps. Oh, this is even better. Hey, I hear you need someone to watch your kid. Oh, I'll happily watch your kid for 3 hours while you go out. Oh, don't worry. I'm trustworthy. This really is a guide on how to get yourself arrested and put on a registry. Make concrete suggestions. Food or furniture assemblage or taking my son to the playground for an hour. Yeah. Hey, stranger, let me have that kid. You look like you're struggling. Let me have your kid for an hour or two. Dude, this anyone does this, their lives are ruined. Oh, know that I'm capable as hell, but I'm also constantly tired and often stretched thin. Yeah, you sure sound capable, all right. I know that I can't drive across town to meet you for a social outing as my child will whine all the way there. It's okay. As someone who has, still a few friends that stuck around after having kids, I know. You just accept that you're never going to see them again. Take an emotional load of finding a cafe with a playground attached that is between our homes so we can meet there, come over and make me dinner. That's right, man. It's your responsibility to make up for my poor choices. What will you get out of it? Nothing. You will get the giggling hilarity of my toddler as he hurls himself onto your back. Yeah, that's what we want right there. We want crotch goblins jumping and climbing up on us and blowing our backs out. Yeah, that's what we want. That's a reward, huh? You will gain a sense that we're all part of a messy, connected family that I'm contributing to and getting nothing out of. Yeah. You will be inoculated against loneliness. Who says we're lonely? You'll know that you're needed and required and loved. Yeah, you're a man. You're worthless unless someone needs you for something. That you have a purpose, a part in the sacred and shit-smeared job. You're not really selling me on this. You're not. You are here to raise a child, to teach it about words and weather and the crime of double dipping. If I wanted to do that, I'd have my own. If I couldn't have my own, I'd adopt one. I have ways of meeting this need without going over to your place and helping you deal with the consequences of your poor choices. Now, you can show a kid how to be in the world to teach him to be a person who stands up from his porch and asks, need a hand? No, that was decades ago, man. Now it's insulting to assume that a woman can't do everything herself. If you ask her for help, or if you ask her if you can help, that's just going to get you yelled at. No, if you want help, you ask. And to be fair, if one of my neighbors asked me for help with something, I mean, I've done it already. I've jump started neighbors before. I've helped my neighbors haul heavy shit before, and they've helped me too. Like I've borrowed equipment from neighbors. Just fucking ask. Now, if you start getting too familiar and asking too much, something tells me that would actually be a problem with this woman. But thankfully, it's not my problem. That's all I care about. So enjoy the consequences of your actions. I still feel sorry for that kid, though, but not my problem.